Welcome to the Strategic Travel Entrepreneur. My name is Rita Perez. Hello. I've been a travel advisor for over 10 years and am navigating this winding road of entrepreneurship with you. I created this podcast because I wanted to share all the things I've learned from leaders both in and out of our industry that I really wish I would have known way back then. But alas, the important thing is I'm aware of them now, and I want you to be too. Ready for this week's show? Let's jump in. So what exactly is content creation? And for me, and I recently had this discussion with somebody who is an actual artist. They do digital work. They do drawings that become digital artwork, digital comics. And I know that his viewpoint was a lot like thinking that artwork is now becoming content, and I kind of disagreed in a sense because I don't see artwork as content. And it's funny seeing some of the promotion that he's doing right now for something that he is launching, that he is promoting utilizing some of his artwork. And I think that really helped kind of, and I know this might sound a little bit messy right now, but really when we put out a piece of content, regardless of what it is, if it's a video, if it is a photo, if it's a quote, if it is, and there's so many forms of content, a podcast episode, blog post, an article on LinkedIn, an article on your Google business profile, anything essentially that you put out there to your audience is a piece of content that you're using to promote yourself, you're promoting your business, you're promoting an offer that you have. So while I wouldn't, really I feel like content is just a mode of promotion, because if we're looking at the marketing mix, you have your product, place, price, and promotion. So your product is the offer that you're selling. So for a lot of you service-based business owners, that offer is your service. So it is essentially your time. Someone is paying you for your time to do something for them in the end. So that's your product. Your place, where are you? And this kind of also goes with positioning. How are you meeting new people to sell that product? And where are you promoting that product, which kind of goes into promotion, like the modes of promoting this, because you just can't have, I have a bottle of juice here, and I can't just be like, yeah, guys, I have this bottle of juice, and that's it. That's all I say. We need to do more than just that, which is really what promotion is. And then you need to make sure you're pricing it so that there's a couple different components. And again, I am not the pricing expert. I work more on content strategy, social media strategy. So when we're talking about pricing, everything has to align and fit. You have to have the right product, putting it out in the right places, positioning it in the correct places, in front of the right people, and you have to be pricing it so that it's an easy convert, an easy switch. So those are kind of when we're looking at the behind the scenes of marketing, things that you have to have set up in order to help you promote your item, because you can't just be talking about things on the interwebs without kind of having a common goal. So you're probably asking me, let's peel back the curtain on this. I am talking about content creation and how it really affects your business and the different things that you can do within your business, because I'm trying to promote my content creation intensive. Ooh, let's put it all out there. The point of doing content is to be helpful to whoever your audience is, but also it is essentially to be creating money. Even those influencers that you see on social media, they're creating funny content, they're promoting this or that product in the end because they want to convert you to get you to buy things with their codes, or they want you to buy whatever it is they're selling or subscribe to whatever it is that they have, so that they essentially can make money and make a living. That's why we're all in this business, right? So there are different ways that we can promote our businesses, and putting content out there, creating content is one of those. But even, and this is why I preach so heavily in the visibility area, and that's why I created the Visibility Collaborative, because you can't just be preaching out in the open without some sort of strategy and without also meeting people. You have to have connections, and you have to constantly be talking to people about the service that you offer, especially in the travel industry, so that people can connect with you, that they can like you, they know who you are. If they don't want to use your service, they know somebody else who might be able to help them use that service. They might be able to refer you to somebody who needs the service that you offer. So that's why I say, like, don't write any connections off. This past month this past July, before going into surgery, I had really been hustling my booty off, talking a lot about the different marketing options that I offer for different business owners. And it is starting to pay off because there's lots of interest that has been garnered. And that's why I say, if I was just spewing this on the interwebs, like, there would not be traction. Like, you need to have those connections and relationships with actual real people in order to kind of further and help assist you. Because the type of work that I do for other people is because they're already actively meeting people. They just don't have the time anymore to work on the content creation piece. They are very successful at converting people. And they just don't have the means to do these things like lives, or maybe they don't have the capacity. That's not their favorite thing to do. So they need other methods of meeting people, getting them into, like, their marketing funnel as we know it. And that's what these methods of content are for, is to nurture them. So, like, once they've made that connection with them, they're still in their lives through some sort of social media or a weekly email. So, and that's why visibility is so important. Like, if we're looking at the top of the funnel, visibility is the first thing. Like, where are you visible at? Make sure that you're being consistent in any posts that you have in those areas, so that people can start building that relationship with you. And when they see you, or if they haven't seen you, or, there's a really great example. There's some coaches that I know that focus on well-being that I haven't heard anything from in quite a few months. Like, I haven't seen them really active. And, I have a personal relationship, but somebody that doesn't have a personal relationship might be like, what is going on with their business? And so they finally, like, sent out an email newsletter yesterday, just updating about why they've been taking some time off. And that's the thing, is that while, and now I'm going to be, like, contradicting myself, because there's so many different facets to this content creation piece, and that it's important to remain consistent. And this is where I say that the relationships are even more important, because even if you're not able to remain consistent for whatever reason it is, you need to take time off, you've had surgery like I did, or whatever, you still have strong foundational relationships that you can always go to certain people and be like, hey, I need help. You might not need what I have, but maybe you can refer me off to somebody. And that's why, kind of like at the heart of content creation, when we're really looking at why we're creating content, we need to look at the pain points of what our clients are possibly experiencing, what they are experiencing, what our potential clients are experiencing. And we need to look at that, because that kind of shapes all of the content that we need to be creating, so that we're building that know, like, trust. The people who are viewing any of our content, or listening or reading, or however it be that they consume, understand and are very aware that you are the right person that they need to be working with, and therefore eventually convert into a sale for you. So, and that's why, especially in the travel industry world, I preach so much on you loving to travel and to sell travel to other people is not enough to get people to convert, because like, how does that affect them? How does you loving travel affect your potential client? Like, there's no pain point in that for them. What the pain point in that for them is that they want to secure a golf trip and they don't know the resort that they want to go to. And they're frustrated because they don't know where to check. There's like 50 million options on the interwebs, and they don't know which one is the right one for them because they've seen all these things and they've heard all these things. Though that is the type of pain point that you need to be listening in on. And that is the type of pain point that you need to be addressing when you put your content out there. Maybe it is that if we're sticking with this golf example, which is probably a horrible example for me because I am not an avid golfer in any way, but maybe you put out a piece of content, the top 5 golf resorts for female golfers or for women golfers or for beginner golfers, or maybe it is that you have a podcast interview with different podcasts that feature golf enthusiasts or that golf enthusiasts listen to, and in the course of your conversation you bring up some of these golf resorts or even like river cruise options that are very close to major golfing center points, or even ocean cruising options that are great, or maybe it's the top 5 Caribbean golf resorts. So there's a lot of different. So the pain point was, golfer, don't know, like, I want to go on a vacation and I just want to golf my little heart out, but I don't know where to go. And when I go to the inner space, people's webs, there's like 50 million options and I don't know what's right. So when you are crafting up this content, whether it be like a reel, blog post, podcast interview, you already know that that's one of their pain points. They don't know where to go. So in order for them to know you, you have to be visible on these different channels. To like you, well, that's, not everybody's going to like you. That's a personality thing, but you have to be able to show your personality in your writing, in your voice. And then trusting you is when you're able to say, okay, Golf Resort A in Island A is perfect for beginners because it offers X, Y, and Z. And we all know that when you're a beginner golfer, like, this is one of the biggest pain points that you have. So that is why I really feel like Golf Resort A is going to be a perfect fit. I feel like there's the stigma of like, but if I say these things, they're just going to book it on their own. And that's fine. You want to be as giving as possible because the right people are going to be working with you and the wrong people are going to go booking it on their own. Let them book it on their own. And this is also why a recent topic of discussion a lot has been offering different services in your travel business that are not attached to selling a product. So maybe your new product or a new product that you offer now is that you have that service of being able to consult or to coach, whatever word that you would like to use, strategize your next trip, present them with options, and then the person who likes to do it on their own books it on their own, but they have compensated you for your time and your expertise in whatever session. Maybe it's just an hour-long session. Maybe they've purchased like an hour for the next 4 weeks because they want to talk through a couple different things with you. The right people are going to value that and value that you have gotten them from point A to point B much quicker than they could have done completely on their own. So, and that kind of brings me to the next point or content, like kind of bridging the gap of where the content creation intensive comes into place, in that people need to see certain images from you. And when we're putting out images, it's not necessarily of the pain point. It is many times of the solution that you're able to offer, the end point. Like, the people are already very aware that they're in a lack in their current space. So when they go specifically to your social media, or if they're looking at pictures on your website, they're like, ugh, like that's how I want to feel. Like that's what I want to be. Like help me out. And so that's why it's very important to make sure that you also have photographic videograph words, that you have the appropriate photos and videos in your back pocket to utilize for creating this content, whether it is showcasing a photo in a blog post or creating different reels, so that you're able to exude. Because, you know, travel is a very emotional type purchase. And that's why I say it goes far beyond like just you loving to sell it. It also transcends a little bit from the exact pain point. People are traveling not to be in pain. They want to be away from the pain. So if you have digital assets that can show them how your clients are after working with you, the easier it is for them to envision, like, okay, this is the person that I need to be working with. She's told me, she's given me some advice on some of the top golf resorts. All her pictures are beautiful, and like everybody just seems so relaxed after they've gone on these golf resort vacations. I need to pull the trigger on this, so let me hire this travel advisor for my trip. So it's very cyclical, I'm hoping. So you've gotten kind of like the baseline, what content creation is, the different content pieces that are out there, why you need to be speaking to the pain point so that people can really hire you on, because they are no longer, it's kind of like, I always go to the plumber. If any of us were to have like a leaking pipe or sewer backup, whatever it is, you know automatically that you need to hire a plumber. It's just age old. Maybe you or somebody in your family has the expertise or the experience that they can go ahead and fix that for you. But for the most part, we know if I have a leak, I need to call the plumber. If the leak is coming from the roof, then I need to call the roofer. If I need oil for my car, then I need to go to the mechanic. If I need gas for the car, then I need to go to the gas station. Like, we purchase things because there is a pain point, no matter like how big or small it is, that, and even the pain point can be almost like a perceived pain point that, and this is like, I'm thinking about travel now, like I'm seeing that trip and I'm seeing the visuals on your social media efforts. And if I don't pull the trigger and hire you to help me with my travel, I'm going to be missing out on an incredible travel experience. So it is also the FOMO that can be incited specifically with the travel industry, the fear of missing out because they have seen the amazing assets that you have produced when you've been on some sort of trip and you're able to produce that. So, and that's really what the content creation intensive is all about. So this is, I would say it's really for beginners to newbies. So let me give you a little bit rundown of the intensive. It's happening September 18th and 19th of this year at the Disneyland Resort area. It is happening like right before Connection. If you are a Nexion travel advisor, you do not have to be a Nexion travel advisor. So if you're just in the area, or if you're like, oh, I need to get in on this, what I will be teaching you is kind of the basics of creating content like an influencer, but strategizing it like a travel business owner, because you can't just keep creating stuff and putting things out there and hoping that it'll stick at one point in your travel marketing, business marketing journey. You need to think of things strategically. So there's like 3 major components of this intensive. One is a pre-webinar where I'm going to set you up, make sure that you have the tools that you need to be bringing with you to get the content that you need to be acquiring while we're out at Disneyland Park. Now, my intention, because there's going to be a Disneyland Park day and then there's going to be a Disney California Adventure Park day. So yes, is this going to be perfect for people who specialize in Disney vacations? Of course, but I'm hoping to go in a couple days earlier because I also want to scope areas out that can be used and don't look as Disney as other parts of the park may look. And I want to do that because really, like, when you are going on any sort of fam trip or group travel, you're taking lots of pictures and all that, but you need to be taking pictures also and video in the sense of what does your ideal client want to see, or what is going to have them experiencing FOMO, or what's going to, like, they're going to be able to envision themselves. And so you may be in France per se, but there's a lot of images that if you tailor them a certain way, if you doctor them a certain way, it doesn't necessarily look like France, and you might be able to promote other sorts of vacations. So I definitely want to have that kind of component when we're in the park. So park days are going to include about 4 hours in the morning at the park where we are all together pretty much enjoying the park, but everybody is also creating content together. And this can be just taking videos of people that are laughing and walking around. This can be taking photos of that, because if you know anything, and I mean, you all see it all the time on social media, and then like even in advertising, I mean, I have like a River Cruise brochure in front of me. The photos that sell are not the photos like where someone is looking directly into camera. It is when people are doing things and acting on things so that you can envision yourself at a wine tasting or on a ride at the park or tasting a delicious snack at the park or whatnot. It is not like, look, cheese, I'm here smiling and all that. So we're going to be taking those types of fun, like in-destination photos. There's going to be an optional lunch. And then in the afternoon, I'm going to be doing some lifestyle photos and videos. And this is going to be really great for your own brand so that you can promote yourself and like, look how hard I'm working over here. So these are going to be like pictures with your phone, with your laptop, maybe talking to a colleague, just looking out of a window and just thinking, dreaming, hoping. Again, all these different actions that you can be having as a business owner. And then later on in the evening, depending on the day, you'll also have the option of joining us at either the I'm like, what are they? It was the World of Color dessert party or the Fantasmic dining package afterwards. And again, like, I'm adding all these optional things depending on like what your energy level is. You can come in as much as you want or participate as least as you want. But all these different options also give you even more content to utilize for whatever assets it is. So the photos or the videos you'll be able to use on your social media platforms. You can use them on your website. You can use them when you send out newsletters, and you will have access to everything that everybody produces on this trip. So that's kind of like, that's the brief rundown of what a day will look like. So the 18th and the 19th, and you can do one day or you can do both days. I'm trying to make it as flexible for you as possible. And then once we're back at home, probably about 2 to 3 weeks later, now we have all this content. So how exactly do we use it? And I think like this is probably the biggest hiccup in most other programs, is that they give you the programming, but then there's like no strategy or co-working after something has happened. So I'm going to make sure that we have a post session so that we can strategize how to utilize the assets that you have just captured. And everybody's going to have a different strategy because everybody is a different business owner. They have different needs and they have different people that they serve and audiences that they serve, and their audiences have different pain points. So it really is like you have this bank of assets. How will you use them as well, especially if you are someone who either specializes in Southern California or a Disney product? You'll be able to come up with additional ideas of your recent experience, what kinds of additional content you can create based on the experience that you just had that doesn't even have anything to do with the photos and the videos that we just took. And this could be, maybe you're going on a podcasting tour, describing how you can visit Disneyland, the Disneyland resort area when you have special needs, mobility issues, or however it may be. This can be how the father golfer decided to drop off the family over at the Disneyland Resort area, and how a parent who is not into Disney can enjoy Disney but from afar. There's just so many ideas that can be created based on what your goals are, who you serve, and the like. So that really is the basis of the content creation intensive. If you want any more information, please head over to the link in the bio, the show notes, so that you can get more information of what that is. But I hope this kind of helped serve as a comprehensive. We've talked about what is content, why that content really has to speak to a pain point, and then the importance of getting content while you are in destination, which really can help you get more personalized and individualized photos. That one of the things that I've used all the stock images before in different areas, but you'll find that a lot of people are using the same types of stock images. Is one kind of pain point. A second kind of pain point too is that it doesn't really speak to your business. So whenever you're able to create more dynamic content in destination, it really helps you overall because it feels a little bit more personalized and not just a stock photo that hundreds of other people have. And being able to acquire some of these skills so that you're able to create better content on future trips is just going to help you out in a whole, regardless of you're still doing your marketing efforts, or if you hire on somebody to do your marketing efforts, then you can say, okay, here are the assets that I have. Please just make the post for me because I don't have time to create captions, schedule this. I just need them done and uploaded, which I can also help you with. So please let me know if you have any questions. I hope this kind of was a really good roundabout content creation information session on what is content, why we have to be speaking to pain points, and why it's important to be getting amazing content in destination. If you are considering coming on the intensive happening September of 2022, please let me know if you have any questions because I would love to assist you. There I am. I would love to assist you really get out of your pain point, which is that creating content hole that we're in because you see everybody doing it, but you're not really sure how to do it. You don't feel confident. You don't have the clarity that you need. And I will be sure to give all that to you while you are away. And I'm not just saying that. I have worked with other travel advisors creating content in destination. So when you see the information for the intensive, you'll see a couple of the testimonials and reviews of what they've said, what it was like prior to working with me and then after working with me, and how their content creation strategies have adapted, adjusted, and kind of gotten that shift to really propel them forward in their marketing efforts for their travel businesses. So that is it from me. I hope that you have enjoyed this very impromptu session. Again, please let me know if you have any questions and if I can assist you with your content creation journey. And I'll see you next time. Bye. Thanks for joining me on The Strategic Travel Entrepreneur. Please subscribe and leave a show rating on your favorite podcast platform. Oh, and don't forget to take a look at the show notes for important information and links. See you next week.